Yo, we are back with another audio out session.
What's up, guys?
We have our pal Sean Walsh in the house tonight.
What's going on?
It's good to see you, Sean.
I don't know what camera to look at.
Main
This
one.
one? Okay.
I mean, don't they tell you, like, don't look directly into the camera, right?
I know, but it's so cute and it's right there.
Yeah, those GoPros, man.
It's not an actual audience.
It's fine, yeah. There's like 35 people are here right now. Do you like that was realistic, 35 people?
I put it in editing, just put in like some crowd cheers and stuff.
Yeah, totally. Just panned to like a random crowd from MTV Unplugged from like Pearl Jam in like,
Nirvana.
1991 or something.
So, Sean,
Yeah.
I gotta ask about the very, very beginning. Because I found out, just from being a family friend of the Walsh family for a few years now,
Mm-hmm.
your mama told me that you were actually born to music. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that specifically,
Okay.
but she she does tell that story. But my parents did meet in choir at
Oh,
LP
wow.
High School,
Wow.
so you could say that I was, forged in music, I guess, in a weird way,
Right on.
and
man.
born to it. Apparently, she tells the story. I don't know what we were listening to at the time. I wasn't aware of a lot back then.
It was the 80s, right?
The
So-
Carpenters or something.
Hopefully, Hall & Oates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right on.
Maybe.
Family Man.
That nice job on the deep cut family.
Oh, dude, I
Family
love
Man for
Hall &
Hall &
Oates. I love Hall & Oates.
Nobody
I don't-
references Family Man from Hall & Oates.
That's one of my favorite songs by them, actually.
Do you know Family Man?
Over my head.
Okay, it charted, but not very high. So it was like it peaked at like 57 or something. I'm not gonna do the research right now, but
That's not bad.
We'll Google it later.
it was on the charts. I've never been on the charts, so it's pretty good.
So we'll fast forward a little bit. You're born,
Yeah.
right? And you have some older brothers, right?
I do, yeah.
And did they play rock and roll?
They're all involved in music, for like band, high school band, But my oldest brother, he played flute, I believe, and he played electric bass in like jazz band. But my middle brother Toby, he played rock and roll,
Okay.
and he was a huge influence on me. And he had this thrash punk metal band. They were called World Anonymous, and they were amazing. And it was a big influence on me because my parents would go see my brother play, and he was crazy. He had like the cut up whitewashed jeans and like the silk shirts, and just out there with the mullet, just getting crazy with it. And I was in there in the audience, like, as a little small child, like, man, this is amazing. And it's the first time I'll never forget it. They were throwing out records. Like they went to some like Salvation Army, Goodwill, whatever, and bought like all like the 25-cent records that they were getting rid of. And my brother was like, yeah, punk rock. He was throwing them out to the crowd.
That's sweet.
And I was like, yeah. And I saw,
Were they in the cases or? Just,
yeah.
okay.
Well, some of them were, some of them
Okay.
weren't. And there's this guy. He had been like 6'5". I don't know. He could have been 8 feet. I didn't know. I was a little kid. And he had this overalls on, nothing underneath, and this giant mohawk. And it's the first mohawk I ever saw in my life. And I was like, this is awesome. It was super rad. But yeah, I get to like see my brother play and watch him and yeah, it was like thrash metal, but I didn't really know what that was at the time. I just knew it was fun and it rocked, and it was my brother up there, so it was super cool. And,
Right on. Right on.
Hell yeah.
and my parents would always take me to see my uncle's band too, and he was in like a classic rock cover band, and they were called Just Cruisin', and they did lots of crazy shenanigans too. So like they do Buddy Holly songs. The guitar player would dress up as Buddy Holly, put the glasses on, and do like the whole kind of like AC/DC Angus Young thing, and like go through the crowd because he had a wireless mic. So like, and I was exposed to all that like showmanship at like a real young age, and
Right on.
That's pretty cool. Were your parents pretty big into music, or did they play anything?
not really. Like my mom plays piano, and they sing in like church choir and stuff like that, but they didn't like pursue it professionally or semi-professionally. It's kind of like more like a hobby. They just liked going out and seeing live music and being a part of that scene, and they involved me in it.
Cool.
Well, and your dad has been active in barbershop quartets, right?
Yes, you know, my
Which-
dad is in barbershop, yeah, so the 4-part harmonies and the, he also did it as a group, too. They did, I don't know what the actual group is, but it's out of Bloomington, and they have a choir, a barbershop choir out there, and it's still
That's pretty
active as
cool.
far as I know. So you go out in barbershops.
Yeah, you don't ever see that
It's pretty
anywhere.
wicked. Barbershop's pretty wicked. And he had a group called the Cell Tones, and they'd get together like a couple times a year for like 10 years, and they'd go to like Minari's 101, start singing the tables, and
That's pretty
You
cool.
know.
Right on.
it's like just guerrilla shows, you know. Like, let's get out there. Let's just do some singing.
So did that?
Very
So
cool.
that rubbed off on you. Did you start singing first? Did you start playing guitar pretty young? Did you start on piano?
I started on piano, and
Nice.
I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I hated it at the same time. I wasn't a big fan of my teacher. I'm not gonna lie.
Was your teacher your mom?
No.
Whoa.
And she was just like, she was super strict and like took all the fun out of
Oh,
playing
that sounds
music.
suck.
And I don't, it wasn't like
Couldn't play what you
It wasn't
wanted
like
to.
Suzuki style or anything like that. But it was just like,
Oh yeah, it's
you know what I'm.
it's an epidemic in
As a
music.
kid, especially, you want to play certain
Yeah.
things, and you're being taught theory.
So my grandmother got me a guitar for Christmas. This little J.C. Penney like pint-size guitar, and I flipped it over and I was playing it backwards, left-handed, like opposite Jimi Hendrix. And because I think there's a lot of kids who don't know how to play guitar, and when they start playing, if they're right-handed, they instinctively play it this way. So I did as well, and I learned some first song like Nirvana, like La Bamba, some stuff like that this way until my
You
uncle was
actually
like,
flipped
"No, you need to play it this way," and I did. And that's kind of always mad that I got switched because I thought it'd be pretty cool to play upside down,
It would be.
but I could never do it now.
I have a lefty actually, and I want to teach Bria, like, because I mean it'd be easier for her obviously to play left-handed, but I don't know whether to switch it for the strings, obviously.
Oh yeah. That's interesting.
Because I've thought about even learning the left-hand guitar, but playing it right-handed, like with the strings.
Yeah.
Your high E up on top.
That's worth a shot, you know.
I mean, it'd be pretty tough.
Just experiment and then see what.
Or I'm sorry, you'd be playing left-handed guitar, but the strings how it would be on a left hand.
Right. I say just experiment and see what she starts taking to, what's most natural for her, and then
Right.
just ride it out from there, and then bam, family band,
There you go.
blow it up. Megan Jack White 2.0.
Nice.
Anyway, back to Sean Walsh.
Yeah. So I play guitar and I got into it, and I took a couple lessons, but I realized I didn't like learning like old Ronald McDonald Had a Farm or anything like that. So
Totally.
I just started, adapting chords that I learned from other songs and writing my own songs off of that, and then
Nice.
going from there. So, and then trying to, I formed bands, but I was playing with dudes who really didn't know what they were doing. I was like, "Hey, you play this chord," and then we were like super young, like 6th grade. You know what I mean? So, but I had a notebook and I wrote all the songs. I wrote how long each song was. Okay, this song's 3 minutes and 6 seconds long. This song's 2 minutes and 45 seconds long, and so I had like albums of stuff before I even did anything. But I didn't know what I was doing. I was just emulating all like
The back of CDs.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Right
awesome.
on, man. That's fun. That's fun.
Curiosity.
So at what point in this journey did you come across the band Silverchair?
Oh yeah, Silverchair. I guess I was super my brother was really big into the grunge, alternative thing in the '90s, and he was a huge influence on me. So that's why I was thinking Pearl Jam, Nirvana's Bleach was the first album I ever bought
Nice.
on cassette tape at the Prue Mall.
Musicland.
And and I was there with my cousin, and I was like, I really wanted a Nirvana record, and it was 1994 because in utero, the girl with the angel wings, like the cover of the album, those cutouts were in the window. It's like life-size cutouts, and I'm like, I really want a Nirvana record because I know my brother really loves Nirvana, and I'm like, which one should I get? He's like, Sean, get this one. He hands me Bleach. He's like, if you like this, you'll love all of them. So I rocked Bleach and in my grandma's little tiny cassette player in her kitchen, and I played the hell out of it. And yeah, because we hadn't officially moved here yet, so we were like staying at her grandma's.
Oh, right on.
And yeah, just listened to that and then wore that out and then progressed and got Nevermind and all the other ones and then started listening to other things. And then, but all those bands were bands that like I was told were cool.
Mm-hmm.
Silverchair was like, I think I was watching MTV.
You never hear anybody saying, hey, Silverchair is one of my favorite bands. Like, I was shocked. I didn't know that until tonight, until we were talking earlier before the show, and like I've never heard anybody say Silverchair is like my favorite band. It's like, what? Really?
Well, it was almost a perfect storm because I was in all these other bands and I saw this band on MTV and it was Silverchair and I saw Tomorrow and I thought it was super cool. It was kind of like these young kids, they had long hair, just like jamming, this killer voice, and it was like a pig spitting out gold coins and it's kind of like graphic and this is kind of rad. But it wasn't until I saw the Pure Massacre video, which didn't have the production value, but it came through and they were just rocking and jamming, and there's this bridge in this song. I don't know if you know the song, and these like harmonies kick in the bridge. It like totally goes 180, and I was just like,
mind blown.
It crushed me. And then I was in. Then I was like a Silverchair head, and that's not even a thing. But if it was, that was from then on, and like I got that record, Frog Stomp, on cassette, and I learned how to sing by emulating Daniel Johns from Silverchair.
Okay.
Because like,
Really?
and it was, and I know like people like when he came out like, oh, he was imitating Pearl Jam, he's imitating whatever, and to an extent he was, and it was because he was 15, 16 years old at the time, and I was like 12 or whatever. He wasn't that much older than me. He rocked super hard, and it's amazing voice, and I'm like, if they're doing it, and they're so good, why can't I do that?
Right.
Like, and then I've stuck with them their entire career, and every record they put out was progressive and a step forward.
Definitely.
And they just got better with age, and I kind of evolved along with them. I grew up along with
That's
them.
cool, dude.
So still on that train of thought.
Sure.
Fast forward in, 10, 12 years into the future,
Mm-hmm.
you go to a Silverchair concert. Where's it at?
That was at House of Blues in Chicago.
House of Blues, Chicago,
Yeah.
right on. And were they touring on like Diorama at that point, or had
No.
they just done?
No, it was Young Modern. It was like towards the end of Young Modern, which is their last record, which I don't know if you've heard it.
I haven't.
It's
no.
weird. It's out there, but it's pretty cool.
Okay.
I saw them at Lollapalooza. They played Lollapalooza 2007, which is the only day I've ever been to Lollapalooza in Chicago, ever. And they played, I saw Regina Spektor, saw The Roots, Yeah Yeah Yeahs were there, Muse.
It was a good day.
It was a great day.
It was a good day.
But so this was like a few months later, and they were playing House of Blues. It's Twisted Christmas, sponsored by Q101, whatever. And Silver Sun Pickups were opening, and we got tickets. Like, this is gonna be amazing. Saw them, super killer show.
Silver Sun is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I do like them.
And we got like somebody was handing out like cards, like, hey, check out the after party, whatever. Like the hotel across the street, it's called a place called the Crimson Lounge. And so me and my girlfriend at the time, we go over there, like, check it out, and get in there, and it's packed. And this band called AM Taxi is playing. It's known as American Taxi. They're kind of big in like Chicago, like alt scene, whatever. Again, we're sitting there, order a beer. Beers are like, it's like $6 for like a Miller Lite or whatever. Man, I'm like, I can't afford this. I'm like, I have one beer. I'm gonna get out of here. Sitting there, and then I see through the doorway, like right there. Like I'm sitting here, and right there through the doorway, I see Daniel Johns, my idol, the guy who I learned how to sing by emulating, and his keyboard player like looking in the door. I'm like, I gotta go out there. So I go out there and meet him in the hall, and he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm not gonna do an Australian accent, but I'm like, hey, big fan, great show, man. You guys killed it tonight. He's like, hey, thanks, mate, whatever. He's like, I like your outfit. I'm like, hey, then me, the audacity of me. I'm like, so what are you guys doing right now?
It's a legit
Like, I don't know,
question,
like,
you know?
like, oh, nothing. Like, what's going on in there? I'm like, oh, the after party for the show that you just headlined. Like,
Nobody invited them to their own.
nobody
after party,
invited them to their own after party.
That's hilarious.
And like, I don't know, like, we'll hang out, but like, you know, we don't want to be like bothered. Like, cool, like, come hang out. Like, so I try and get them a VIP, like, roped off with a booth or something. They're all full up. I'm like, these guys just headline. This is their party. You can't get them a booth? Like, no, man, it's a reservation. Sorry, dude. I'm like, there's a table all the way in the back. You guys can sit there. And like, cool. So they came in and we had some drinks and we talked about music for like 45 minutes and then had a great time. And
That's pretty cool.
Then people started recognizing them and they got a little skittish and then they just kind of skedaddled. And then people started bringing us like bottles of like top shelf tequila from downtown bar in Chicago.
You were worried about a $6 beer.
Yeah, no, those are probably like $350 a pop.
Right.
I still to this day do not know who paid for any of that because I didn't. But no, it was, and they were just so down to earth and like oh, and like first thing, like one of the first things they said, like, what do you think of Silver Sun Pickups? Like, they're so awesome, right? Not like, oh, we were great. Like, no, did you see the opening band? Because they were fantastic. Like, and they're just super
So
down to earth and like, because it's one of those things where like you hear about people like meeting their idols or influences, and then they turn out to be jerks, and it's like, oh,
It's a big letdown.
yeah,
It absolutely
and
is.
that was not the case at all. Like, couldn't have been more inviting and open and cool.
That's cool.
So
Are they still around?
they're on indefinite hiatus.
Are they really?
Yeah, but Daniel Johns put out a solo record a year and a half, 2 years ago. I told Kevin about it.
I listened to it.
It's pretty out there. It's,
I dig it.
yeah, it's
So how
wild.
much have they changed? Because like even you said that their newest album is completely different. Like, do they go like progressive or
No.
a little more synthesizers and stuff like that, or?
Their fourth record, Diorama, a lot of people say that's their best record. It was very atmospheric and like orchestral, and like they had like a lot of really cool arrangements from Van Dyke Parks, who was a guy who arranged for Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys.
Okay.
They became really great friends. They did a lot of songs together, and it became like more like modern progressive pop with the newest record. Like the first single off that, which actually was like a minor hit on VH1, was the first time I heard it. I was like, it reminded me of Coldplay.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like
They toned it down a lot.
they alienated a lot of their OG grunge fans.
Yeah, I bet.
But I think to their strength, honestly.
Yeah. What was Frog Stomp on? Was that
Label?
the song was?
Oh, Tomorrow. Tomorrow
Was it
was,
Tomorrow?
was the big hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Frog Stomp was the first album, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, like 15, 16, wherever they
Okay.
drop that joint.
Yeah, man, I think people were still reeling from Kurt Cobain, and like, to me, like Daniel Johns was like, kind of, his music like healed people's souls a little bit. They're like, all right, rock isn't dead.
Mhm.
You know, it didn't die with Kurt. Still going strong. You know, there's a lot.
No, totally.
There's people that are out here doing it. You know. So let's talk a little bit more about what you've been up to, man, because, you know, you learned how to sing from Daniel Johns, but
Yeah.
you've done a lot of singing over the years, you know, in bands, and then also as an actor, you know, theater
Yeah.
and stuff,
Mhm.
which, you know, that's something that it's a little bit rare. You know, not a lot of people can kind of double dip like that, you know. And I think, you know, your newest project that's about to be coming out, Butcher the Bakers, right?
Yep.
You've contributed some music to that.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Right on.
One song. Contributed one song to Butcher the Bakers. Film that's indie film, all filmed in the area. Dropping this weekend, Friday,
April 28th.
April 28th.
Right.
April 28th, the Roxy Cinemas in Ottawa. It's kind of Butcher the Bakers. I would say it's kind of like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure meets like Evil Dead 2. Kind of that theme, but I only did one song for this record. This movie, yes. Right. Talking music.
Yeah.
It's a transition.
Yeah.
One song for this movie, which I wrote and sang. Actually, Billy Niebuhr. I never know how to say his last name.
Sorry, can't help you.
I'm gonna say Niebuhr.
All right.
For now. He composed the music. I sent him a demo.
Nice.
And then he constructed music out of it, and then I retracked vocals here in town, and then
Cool.
so that's in the movie. And then for Grace's from the movie from last year, like we went to his studio in Nashville, and that was one of the craziest, unique music experiences I've ever had. Which is like, hey, we have 90 minutes of cinema to track and sound. Here's the scene. And then Tyler Am, the director, he'd be like, I'm feeling a little something more upbeat, kind of, maybe do like a minor key, whatever. And then Billy would get behind the drum set, and I would strap on, fuzzed out electric bass, and like, let's try and make something happen. And then like, all right, that sounds cool, moving on. And like, we're doing this live while we're watching the video.
Okay,
so, like,
yeah.
tracking like, and like Tyler would be in front of us, like by the screen, like, okay. All right, no, calm it down. No, bring it back up. All right. And this is like, we wrote all that score in 2.5 days.
That's fun.
Like playing live is a little bit stressful, to say the least. But it's like,
How much time did you spend sleeping those 2.5 days?
Honestly, we got some sleep. We did okay. We didn't burn ourselves out. If something wasn't working, we just put it aside. Like, we'll come back to it. It's fine.
So things are a little bit different on this movie.
Yeah, Billy took care of basically all the scoring for this one, and then I contributed one song, and then this guy called Hot Dad, who I was not familiar with, but he ended up doing the theme song for it, and he's featured on Jimmy Fallon like a few months ago. And randomly contacted him, and he did the theme song for Butcher the Bakers. And I don't know if you've heard it. I think it's out there. I think they've released it as a teaser, but it's just super fun, cheesy 80s. Like you see an 80s movie, and like in the credits, like the song says the title, or the song says the title of the movie, and it's super cheesy. That's exactly what it is. It could fit in like Kickboxer Part 4 or something, like.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're really excited about the movie. They put a lot of work in. There's a lot of great animated artwork and stuff like that. There's a lot of surprises, and for the lowest budget of the 3 movies that Tyler's made, it's by far like he's just stretching the dollar. As far like the quality is vastly improved, and it's like story-wise, performances, music, like just the all the special effects and the animation, it's all comes together and makes this really cohesive, fun piece that we really hope people are going to enjoy.
That's cool.
That's awesome, man. And I think, for me, like, from my perspective, seeing this unfold in the context of knowing that for, since like the early 2000s at least, you and friends have been like really avid kind of like random B horror movie like aficionados. You guys have been like I mean, a lot of it's even just been documented, right? But just like watching stuff and like, actually like, kind of studying it, right? Like doing your homework in a way. So
Even when I didn't realize that's what we were doing, that's almost what we were doing. We used to have this club called 4M, Movie Monster Monday Mayhem or whatever. It was different every time, but we'd go to Blockbuster or Video Plus, where rent the crappiest movie that nobody had heard of, that seemed like in the quote unquote horror genre, and we watch it and critique it and just enjoy it, kind of like Mystery Science, theater, whatever. And so my goal is I just want to be in this really crappy, awesome like sci-fi like boa snake versus Pinanthalon, like at Camp Death kind of movie. And now I've got to do that twice in my own hometown. And it's actually like awesome quality films. It's not like something on a camcorder. It's like legit Hollywood. There's a schedule. There's a whole crew. You know, it's legit Hollywood production on a small scale, on a small budget.
That's pretty cool.
It's awesome, man.
No,
it
it's
makes me really
ridiculous.
happy to see how that stuff just kind of materializes, you know, without you even necessarily, I mean, you've done the homework, but you didn't like force anything to happen.
No, it's
You know.
complete happenstance.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's funny. The funny thing though is like when you were doing that, that wasn't even the fad then, because now it's just like you can just turn on Netflix and now there's Sharknado 3
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
all these cheesy films, and you started that kind of
No, yeah.
fad,
Yeah, I mean, there was always like stuff like that, but now it's like, it's almost more mainstream because of stuff like Sci-Fi Channel. And
Right.
really, that wasn't really a big thing at the time.
Yeah,
But yeah, we just wanted to seek out the most obscure, weird stuff we could find, and
that's cool.
take something from it.
Kind of going
Yeah,
off
man.
subject, but have you seen Stitches on Netflix?
Yes, the clown movie.
What do you think about
love it.
Do you really?
I love it. It's fantastic.
Oh my god.
I think I gave it 5 stars.
Oh my god.
It was. Well, I was like,
I tried. I watched it all, but I'm like, fuck, this is brutal.
I just. He had some charisma, that clown.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be like a big icon. I don't
Probably
think
not.
There's not gonna be Stitches the Clown dolls or anything, but I think they did a really good job.
That's funny. Yeah, I wanted to hear your take on it.
No, I stand by Stitches. This is a song. I don't even know where it came from, or what inspired it, but my wife Sarah really enjoys it, and it's our 2nd wedding anniversary tomorrow. And hours prior to that, I'm making her sit in a studio. And so, this is me saying thank you and I love you. This isn't a good I love you song, but you know what I mean. Oh, it's called Ether and Grenadine. And I give it something in this water, makes me wanna falter, drives me to adultery. And I think you put tonic in this water to attract me to your daughter. I'll dust off my books on chivalry, and you see the way I present myself. I know divorce is unattractive, but a man has to have his habits, so I'm leaving you today. I've got my suitcase packed and ready, my toothbrush poisoned steady, jobless but no tooth decay. And you see the way I present myself, and you'll know the glory of the Lord in my smile. And in a while, you will be all that's left of me. Murder, it's not in fashion, but a boy has to have his passion, so I'm killing you today. How will I do it, you may ask? Look in that silver flask, it's full of ether and grenadine. And you see the way I present myself, and you'll know the glory of the Lord. And you see the way I present myself, and you'll know the glory of the Lord in my smile. And in a while, you will be all that's left of me. Oh, you'll be all that's left of me. You will be only dead to me. That's a song. Thank you. So, this one's an older song. I've never really done anything with it, but it's always really stuck with me. And, yeah, I don't know. It's called Dripping in Cliché. Days are not like any other. With an HUG, I think it's gonna get weird real soon. Walking down your frozen corridor to you adoring all that never appreciated you. Your hands arrive drenched in music, 3 sheets of song to soothe the savage beast of my face. So I think you're a piano player, play me something so I won't be sad. I can't help but run away. It's not like me to stay. I can't help but cause it's me. Days are out like no other, with a little less effort from my half of our whole. Restaurant breaks the tensions. Jesus Christ, forgot to mention heartache never saved anyone. 'Cause I've gotten older and thought about it. Ways you looked at me was more than simple words could say. So I think you're a piano player, play me something so I won't be sad. I can't help but run away. It's not like me to stay. I can't help but cause it's me. I'm dreaming. And woo! I can't help but run away. It's not like me to stay. I can't help but Audio out picks, man. That's the magic. This next song, it doesn't really officially have a title, I guess, but this is a straight example of writing a song about a dream very literally. So I dreamt and I wrote a song based on it. Not any more complicated than that. Because sometimes, dreams can be inspiring. And I had a dream last night. All my teeth were rotting and I couldn't stand the sight. I pulled them right out of my mouth and I placed them in my pocket to ensure safekeeping. And I roamed town that night with a smile in my pocket. And when the mood's just right and all the trees frozen and bathed by candlelight, swallow my mouth and I'll crawl inside to find the secrets you keep when you can't fall asleep. And I'll take a chance that night with a smile in my pocket. Overwhelmed in sympathy, what's become this man of me? All these beats, they just fly on and on and on. Hold my teeth, pretend to fly. I had a dream last night. All my teeth were rotting and dying, couldn't stand the sight. I pulled them right out of my mouth and I placed them in my pocket to ensure safekeeping. And I roamed town that night with a smile in my pocket. Overwhelmed in sympathy, what's become this man of me? All these beats, they just fly on and on and on. Hold my teeth while I pretend to fly. And because it is my 2-year wedding anniversary tomorrow, I do a very special song dedicated to my lovely wife, Sarah, who's in the studio. I never know what key to do this song in, so I'm gonna guess. I even based some of my wedding vows. Some of my wedding vows were inspired by this song that I wrote about Sarah. True story. This song is called Shark Week. Baby, I would give up Shark Week for you. Baby, I would give up breathing too. Slice open my arm, drift into the ocean while crimson ribbons surround me. Great white makos with lunch in their eyes. I'll sacrifice so you swim back to safety. The sand is just in your reach, and I know that you're safe, and I gave you my life. Baby, I would give up Shark Week for you. Baby, I would give up evenings too. I'd shoot out the stars, star the moon with affection, and drag it over the horizon's darkness. Will take up any of your light. Then you will never fear all the blackness. The dusk will never subside to the brilliance of you shining bright in your light. Baby, I wouldn't give up Shark Week for you. Baby, I wouldn't give up singing too. So remember I was telling you guys about how I scored the movie Grace's Room last summer? There is a song, it's only in that movie for about 5 seconds. Can barely hear it. But I'm very proud of it. I worked really hard on it. And it didn't even make it on the singles soundtrack. It's on the score, buried like 80 minutes deep into the score soundtrack. So I'm gonna play it right now. The song's called Mr. Froggy. So, it's during a very pivotal scene in the film Grace's Room. Come on, kids! You know what time it is! It's your favorite man, Mr. Froggy! Woo! Mr. Frog goes hop, hop, hop. All the pond knows he won't stop. He's fit for frogs, they don't want to be caught. Mr. Frog knows how you hop. Yeah! You know it now! You can sing along if you want to. Ain't no gotta be afraid of this pond. Oh, Mr. Frog goes hop, hop, hop. All the pond know he won't stop. He's looking for flies, they don't want to be caught. Mr. Frog goes hop, hop. He's got a slimy green skin and a long pink tongue. All the pond knows he wants some. He's coming for you, but not that kind of come. Mr. Frog knows where you're from. Yeah, kids!